So hello, it's Michael Grant, answering fan questions by talking to my phone. How did you write Gone? The writing process and the research that went into it. Well, not a lot of research except in terms of the location. So I had to think about that quite a bit. Well, not overly much. The stupid thing is that because I had so much else to do in the context of this, I wanted there to be I didn't want to have to deal with the question of weather. I didn't want to have to deal with the question of weather inside the dome. So I decided Southern California because in Southern California, there's very little weather. And it was as simple as that. I wanted to exclude that. So I thought it's probably going to be Southern California. And then I went looking for a beach town because I knew I wanted a beach and I wanted a fairly varied topography and I didn't want it to be in a major city. So I ended up basically fixing a location that is pretty much where Pismo Beach, California is. The map doesn't match Pismo Beach. I drew the map separately, but it's in that space, kind of, with a lot of tweaking. So, I add features that I think I'm going to need later on. So in terms of setting up the location, I know that I want a lot. I want to pack heavy. I want to have a lot of different things I can do within this enclosed environment, this dome that's 20 miles in diameter. So that's the part that kind of was more researchy, where I had to look at pictures. A lot of the locations are actual places, like the hotel. Clifftop is a place. It's got a different name, I think, but I've actually stayed there. And Pismo Beach is Perdido Beach, essentially, but Perdido Beach is much smaller. As to the writing process, I write in a series of loops. I don't write in discrete drafts. So I think the way you're supposed to do it, is that you write one draft all the way through, and then you go back and write a second draft or a third draft. I don't do that. I just kind of barrel ahead, and then at some point, my brain starts warning me that I've gone off track, or that I don't quite have it, or it's not connecting, and I'm not feeling it, and so I loop back. So I'll write maybe 50, 60 pages in, and then I'll go, oh man, I got to go back. So then I start back at the beginning, and I start adjusting and making everything kind of make sense, and then I'll write maybe 70 or 80, 90, 100 pages more, and then the same kind of feeling that, okay, time to loop back and have all this become coherent. So by the time that I get to the end of the book, I may have rewritten the beginning of the book 10, 15 times to various degrees. Sometimes it's just a couple of words or a tweak or something. So instead of a single draft, like a line from A to Z, and then another one starting over from A to Z, it's more like a series of little loops, like a chain almost, with varying lengths of whatever they are, the things, the chain, what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's how I do it. I don't know what the right way is, but that's the way I do it.